Okay, so you are the new big hit of the Star Wars game. What's your character's name?
Her name is Maris Brood.
Okay. And did you need to tell us a little bit about the technique that you, like, were you in one of those suits with the little white balls all over it and all that? Or was it like that? Or Gollum?
Kind of. It's not the white balls. It wasn't a bodysuit. They did a lot of stuff purely with technology that worked around me. Like they had all kinds of special cameras that would record you from every angle and get all of your all of your musculature work and, just everything like that.
Right.
They had special cameras that they recorded everything so that, if they wanted to make a model of you, it would be, down to the skin pores, it would be exactly like you. I mean,
wow.
The quality of these photos it's literally frightening. I mean, this is the kind of photos it was. They took these photos, and it would take about a half an hour to download them. That's
wow.
how big these photos were. I mean, individually that long. They were enormous files. So just that, amount of detail on your face.
Wow.
They've got everything. I mean, they are all about detail. They took pictures of the insides of our mouths so that when our characters talked, the inside of their mouth would be legitimate. It's kind of shocking.
Wow.
How specific they were with all of it. But I've seen some of the final stuff, and it looks amazing. So obviously that work was worth it.
So they downloaded these pictures. Was each element done separately? I mean, did they do these pictures and then your voice and then the video and then
yes.
So they structured it all out separately?
Yeah.
So you had to keep going back, or?
No, they did them all one at a time. I mean, we're still doing voice stuff, and it's possible we'll have to go back for some more of the physical elements. But what they did was they first created a computer model of us, and that's what they used all the photos for, because they input all of that information in the computer, and it creates a 3D model, and it's exactly the replica of our face.
Wow.
So that's what they're building on, and then they have the one that's sort of this camera sort of contraption that seemed to get exactly our bone structure, and all of these things that are elements that they're building on in the computer. Then we went in and did the voice work, but the voice work was also done on camera, because what they're doing is they were recording the performance so that exact performance goes also into the computer. And while we were recording the voice, we were also being motion captured, as also we were being videotaped. And the motion capture is slightly different than what you've normally seen. I mean, we had the dots that you're used to seeing. The dots are actually kind of gray, but they appear white whenever you see them, but that's the light reflecting off of them.
Right.
And I mean, it's bizarre and awkward, because it's, you're like a little porcupine. You've got this stuff everywhere, and you're trying to you feel ridiculous, but you're trying to have these moments with the other actors, and not to mention, because everyone is so excited about this game, you're in a room where it's not just you with the other actor. You're in a room that has 40 people in it or something that are all watching your performance and judging it and giving feedback. And since, we're creating these characters, everybody's giving their feedback of, well, maybe she's more like this, or maybe she's more like this, and you keep trying.
And you're not on a set, right? You're in a middle.
Not on a set. We were in
green screen.
Not even that. We were in a very large voiceover booth, and they created this area for the motion capture. So you're sort of behind this rig that is, it's half the size of this room. It's very large, because there's all of these 30 cameras or something that are capturing all of your movement in the different angles and everything.
Wow.
And then there's a separate section where they're, getting all the feedback into the computers and working out that. Then there's a whole section where they're recording them, everything. And there's just all of it. It's amazing how many people go into making this project come to life. It's really impressive. It was amazing to be part of.
And did you go to San Francisco? You went to Lucas's ranch and the whole bit? Or the new studio up there?
Yes, the new studio. Okay. They now work out of the Presidio, which is
that's right.
Unbelievable. You're like...
How cool is that?
Now you're sitting there working, and there's the Golden Gate Bridge. It's really the most amazing studio.
I forgot he took over the Presidio.
The way I kept describing it to people is it's like you're working with all of these people that absolutely have their dream job. Because all of them are such huge fans of Star Wars, and they've grown up on all of these, projects, and they know it so well, and they're so tech savvy, and then they get this job. So they are, they're in their dream just with the technology. then they're living their dream because it's Star Wars, and they're living their dream because everyone around them feels the same way. So,
and they get to live in San Francisco.
Yeah, and they're in this amazing, I mean, everything about it, I just thought, this is a group of people that love what they're doing, so it was very cool to be part of.
Okay, so you've got the coolest lightsabers on the face of the planet. Did you actually get to, like, what did they give you? Did you get to learn to use something? Like, it looks like a billy club, or it looks like a police club.
Kind of. They call them tonfas.
Okay.
And they're based off of some various, the entire game has kind of an Asian feel to it, a lot of weaponry from different cultures, and I mean, obviously not the exact weapons, but using those as inspiration and, putting a Star Wars twist on them. And these are very cool. They don't exist in real life yet. I am sure that they will once it's closer to the release date of the game. At this point, they're just on paper. I hear the fans talking about them, and they're like, if you're not good with those, you'll just cut yourself in half.
That's what I thought when I saw the picture. I'm like, wow.
Exactly. You got to be skilled. But fortunately, of course, Maris is the most amazing fighter that's ever lived, if you ask me.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely positive. Do you play video games? For somebody who's doing them, you've done a few, and
isn't that terrible? I voice a lot of video games, and I'm terrible at video games. It's another one of those things I kind of missed. I mean, like when I was a teenager, there was like Super Mario Brothers, and I never even made it to the end of Super Mario Brothers.
I'm with you.
So, I'm a Tetris girl. Like Tetris, I'll play that all day long. But I'm hoping it's a good thing that I actually haven't been sucked into the world of video games. So I'll just contribute my voice and likeness and not humiliate myself trying to play them.
And then you'll be sucked into the Star Wars fandom too.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's amazing. Very similar to the Xena world in terms of the loyalty and just that you're amazed at who is a fan. Just that the way that something has impacted somebody's world and just the loyalty that they have to, whatever it is that they love is really amazing. And, I don't know the specifics of all the merchandise, but I know there will be lots of merchandise with this game, and who knows where else it could lead. I mean, there's all kinds of rumors on the internet, but, time will only tell. But it is really amazing to just see, at the recent Star Wars event where they announced us, they have all of our little dolls, our little action figures, and there's rumors of all kinds of other things that they're planning to do.
So. Oh, that's cool. Did you get your own doll?
Not yet. I don't have her yet, which is good because it's only what we saw was just the prototype. And let's just say I'm sure she will get better as time goes on. The prototype actually.
I've always wondered about that. Like, do you guys look at these things and go, "That's not me"?
Well, actually, none of the prototypes had our likeness built into them yet. They were the initial Hasbro creations, which was before the actors were cast.
Oh, okay.
But not even that. I don't exactly get it, but my assumption is that because they're prototypes and it's just the beginning stages, she's not exactly proportionally correct. So, parts of her are awesome, and then other parts I'm like, oh, that doesn't quite make sense, does it? So, I'm sure in the end she will be amazing, but right now she definitely still needs a little work.
Okay, let's move on to charm, shall we?
Okay, sure.
Okay.